Yeah, baby. Welcome back to work. Tuesday morning, Tony Kurre here from TKR, Tony Kurre Radio. Download the TKR app. I was at Bryant Denny on Saturday. I was at the Doobie Brothers on Friday. I was at Protective Life on Thursday, and I was just spreading the love, man. People are like, where are you at right now? What are you doing? I said, a classic rock station going on for 3 years. Download the TKR app, those 3 letters, TKR, on Android or Apple. It's also on the KCast Radio. And listen to our radio station. We get great shows. I had a really great show that I recorded yesterday with mission-minded Michael Coleman. Mission Minded runs every day, Monday through Friday on TKR, on the TKR app at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can also find us wherever you get your podcast. Tony Kurre Radio Podcast. We're on every major industry, so just look up your favorite podcast platform. You'll find us. And we were talking about the history of employment and the future of employment. I'll talk about that in a second and why Michael Bublé is an idiot. We'll talk about that. Rock and roll news. Roger Waters today. Floyd turns 79, David Allan Coe, nasty, and I like it. He turns 83, and also coming up on Thursday night to kick off the National Football League, it is the Rams and the Buffalo Bills. Did you see who's playing the halftime of the show? It is Ozzy Osbourne. He's going to be going back to L.A. He's doing a medley of his biggest songs. Ozzy Osbourne taking the stage for the second time after he had his major life-altering surgery about 2-3 months ago. He's got Parkinson's disease. He looks good. It's amazing. When you take a picture of Ozzy and you put the makeup on, he looks like it's the 1970s. Now, I don't know what he's going to look like on stage, but the funny thing is the dude can still sing. I mean, I can't understand a damn word he says when he's talking, but when he gets up there and sings, I know the words. It's fantastic. Ozzy Osbourne halftime show. You'll see it on television coming up Thursday night with the Rams playing the Buffalo Bills. Should be very, very interesting. Big day going on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Of course, every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, we do Live Wire Wednesday. It is all AC/DC. It's our most listened to show from an international footprint. We have over 40,000 people that listen in Sydney, Australia. We have them in Yemen. Our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, they get after it. They're listening to the app. It's a fantastic show. We'll be doing title tracks from AC/DC going on tomorrow night. Also, tomorrow from noon to 2, I'll be on the Jay Barker Radio Network. Jay's on 10 different radio stations throughout the great state of Alabama. I'm going to be on Wednesday and Friday this week from noon until 2. We got that going on. And we'll be on Fox 6 tomorrow morning as well. We're moving that up from Thursday to Wednesday. We'll be on tomorrow morning right around 9:35. I believe we'll be talking about this Michael Bublé story. Michael Bublé, whatever. I mean, hell of a singer, great dude. I think he's kind of weird. I think he's a little strange. We've seen some videos of him with his wife and how he treats her, and I don't want to get into that part. But anyway, he came out yesterday and said that he will always put family first, which is good. He's got 4 kids. He's been married for 11, 12 years. But he says you can't do both successfully. He's talking about his work and talking about his family life. One's got to take precedent over the other. So I was going back and forth with Dr. Josh Claypool this morning, who will be in the studio tomorrow morning. And I said, that sounds kind of strange, because I know a lot of super successful people who have both successful family lives and successful business lives. Michael Bublé has sold over 75 million albums. He's won 4 Grammys. There's not a whole lot he hasn't done. He sells out shows wherever he goes, and certainly the Christmas season's coming up, and people love him for Christmas time. He's a Michael Bublé Christmas kind of guy. But he's saying that his manager had said something to him the other day saying, you know, if you hadn't had a family or you hadn't settled down, you could have been even a bigger star. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we all think to ourselves, what would it be like if I had never gotten married and had kids? Would I be more successful? Well, you hope you would be, because you'd have a hell of a lot more time. You got 4 kids and a wife. Yeah, you got to delegate your time a little bit. I mean, But, I mean, that's the choice you make. And the weird thing about Michael Bublé here is, why is he even bringing this up? He said he can't do both successfully. Michael Bublé claims he would have been a bigger star if he hadn't had children, because he always puts family first. And I'm like, yeah, you put family first. That's what you do. And it kind of goes along with the Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen story, which came out last week, where she basically took off, went to Puerto Rico with the kids. I guess school hasn't started yet. I don't know. And he's getting ready to kick off another season in the National Football League. He said he played at 45. We thought he was joking, and here he is at the age of 45, and he says he still has something left to prove. That being, I need to prove to Tampa Bay that last season was not a fluke, and last season was not a situation where we lost that game to the Rams. We should have won that football game, and so he wants to come back and win his 8th championship. And I get that. But Giselle was told during the offseason that he was going to retire and that he was going to spend more time with his family because it's the right thing to do. What else do you have to do to prove? You won 7 Super Bowls at the age of 44 last year. Now he's 45. What's he do? He changes his mind. He comes out of retirement. She gets pissed. He's like, you know what? If you're going to go play, I'm going to go play. I'm going to do my thing. Now, from a peasant standpoint, I'm thinking to myself, hire a shitload of nannies and you're both good. But that nannies aren't good for kids. Not all the time. So she wants to be a doting mother. He wants to be a doting father. He's on the road. He's on the road all week. It's not like he can see his kids. We'll travel with the kids. Well, they got school. They got other things going on. And so really, with this interesting conversation I had yesterday with Michael Coleman from now the Montgomery Food Bank. He basically looks over 35 different counties in the state of Alabama. We were talking about the UPS strike coming up. By the way, if you want to get presents out to Christmas, I'm telling you the UPS strike is coming. Get your gifts out now because they basically run about 6% of our gross national product in this entire country. If they shut down, they have a strike, it's going to be hell around here on Christmas time. You got the CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond that jumped from the 18th floor window because he was pumping and dumping. You've got people that want to go to a 4-day work week, and you've got roughly 30% of our workforce back in the office, only 30%. The other 70% are going to a little hybrid. They're doing 2 days at home, 2 days at work, 2 days, 1 day at home, 4 days at work. They're traveling and doing all these things. They're trying to do things virtually. I am of the belief that I still think in person is always better than doing stuff virtually. I understand if you're a computer programmer and doing things by yourself at home, that's one thing. But when you're in a business where you can bounce ideas off other people and you're an engager and you're a people person, you're in sales, it's always better to be in the workforce. And I mean, 1 day a week, I get it. But if you're talking about 3 days at home, 2 days in the office, I got a very good friend of mine who's in the banking business, and through COVID, they shut his office down because they were still meeting quotas, still making numbers, and he's miserable. He's miserable. He needs to talk to somebody. He's a people person. He's a great guy, super successful. And he's like, you know, I'm getting my work done because I'm a hard worker, but I want to be in the office. I want to have cups of coffee with people. I want to say good morning to people. I want to go to lunch with people. I want to do the things that I was doing in my office, and they shut the office down. So they're making everyone work virtually, and he hates it. Teresa Ponder-Witt, good morning. Al Cooper, good morning to you. So I think we're going to be getting in, and when you look at the service industry and how lousy it is, we have, and I know the job numbers came out, I think, yesterday, the day before. We're not hiring nearly as quick as we were in the past because of inflation and because of the numbers and all this other stuff. I'm not a political forecaster, but I understand that it's slowing down a little bit. But still, there's plenty of jobs out there. So many jobs, in fact, that we have quiet quitting and quiet firing, and people don't know what the hell to do about it. So I think the entire job force, as we know it, is about to change, and I think COVID had a big part of that, and I'm not sure how it's going to look like, and if you listen to the Michael Coleman Show, Mission Minded, at 10 o'clock on the Tony Kurre Radio, you'll hear more about that. So where is the delicate boundaries we set on work and family life? For the most part, and this is kind of how it was with me, you know, my wife, when I got married, she was making more money than I was. I know she enjoyed what she was doing. I enjoyed doing radio, and so we had a conversation. You communicate. You're like, okay, we're going to have a child coming. We adopted our first kid, then we adopted our second, then we had our third. And I'm like, okay, so what are we doing here? Are you staying home? Am I staying home? Are we both going to work? Are we going to hire a nanny? Are you going to work? And I'm going to, it didn't matter. Whatever it worked out, I was fine to stay home. And she said, no, I want you to work, and I'll stay home. And I said, okay. That's great. I love to work. I love what I do. It's like a hobby to me. I've done it for 40-something years. And I said, just understand that I'm going to have to make up about $90,000 of income that we're not going to have in because you're not going to be working anymore. You will have the world's toughest job by taking care of our kids, but I'm going to have to get after it. I have to make up that difference. And she was totally cool with it, and it worked for a long period of time. Then as your kids get a little older, I have this feeling that a lot of women or men, depending on who's staying home with the kids, gets to that point where they've done everything they can do it, and usually that's at 17 to 20 year window because the kids are about ready to fly the coop or they're going to college, and all of a sudden you're empty nesters. All of a sudden, somebody in the family who's been staying home for a long period of time wants to get out in the workforce. And sometimes it may be you have a kid left. You still have a youngster, Scotty Scott, good morning to you, in the house. And so you're trying to decide, okay, well, I want to start doing this, or I have a new hobby. It's going to take me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Maybe I have to travel a little bit. You have to sit down and go, okay, well, your role here was this. whether it was doing dishes or cleaning or doing the budget or paying the bills. My role was this. I was working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. I cut the grass. I changed the oil in the car. You just sit down and communicate about that. Okay, well, who's going to do this now? If you're not going to be here to do it, who's going to do this? Who's going to do the homework? Who's going to get the kids on? So those are things you got to communicate about. And I have a feeling that on a much different level, obviously, because Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen are making millions and billions of dollars, but they still have those issues. And so does Michael Bublé. If I'm Michael Bublé's wife of 11 or 12 years, I don't want to hear my mate say, I could have been more successful if I didn't have a family. Because the point is moot. You did. And it sounds like he's saying, I'm having second thoughts. He just had a baby a few months ago, his fourth child. Stop pounding if you don't want more kids. Think about what you're doing. Get fixed. So we'll get into that, I think, on Fox 6 tomorrow morning. Henry Lavoie, good morning to you, Henry. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. So I think we'll probably get into that a little bit on Fox 6 tomorrow morning at 9:35. And Dr. Josh Claypo, great psychologist, will tell us how we can set our boundaries. And I know he's going to say communicate. We have to talk it out. Because when you're married and you want to stay with that person for the rest of your life, it ebbs and flows. You have to communicate and you have to figure out, okay, if you want to change your life and you want to come out of retirement and all of a sudden you want to start working again, it's going to take 60 hours. Okay, who's going to take care of all the things you've done in this household since then? And are you expecting me to do it? Because I'm still working and nothing's changed in my life. So it's all communication. Don't care for Bublé. I'm with you, dude. Michael Bublé. I love his Christmas songs. Wasn't there a video or something where he kind of manhandled his wife or something last Christmas? Was it? He had his arm around her neck or something, or he kind of pushed her or something, and people were like, whoa. I think Michael Bublé has got kind of a little man syndrome. I think because everyone thinks of him as kind of a wuss because of the music he does, the big band stuff, that he feels like he's got to be a man. He wants to be more of a man, but Michael Bublé is Michael Bublé. He's doing his Bublé commercials. He's selling 75 million records. Be who you are, man. Be transparent. Be authentic to yourself. We love Michael Bublé. We like the soft, wussy Michael Bublé. That's why we buy your records. I don't want Michael Bublé in a fighter's ring. I don't want you there. You're Michael Bublé. Whatever. Speaking of Al Cooper, hadn't talked about it the last couple days because they took some time off Labor Day and well-deserved. On any given day, they have 40 to 50 cars up in their lot. They call them Easter eggs. They're unbelievable. And if you go to their website, CoosaValleyAutoSale.com, you will see pictures and videos of all their vehicles, and in some will just be a red car. And you're like, well, where's the picture of this one? Well, there's two reasons. First of all, it just got in the lot, and they haven't taken a picture because they take a picture the minute the thing comes to the lot, or it's already gone. Most of the cars at Coosa Valley Auto Sale up there in Sylacauga stay in the lot for maybe 1, 2, outside 3 days, and they're gone. What does that tell you about how they do business? They do a customer co-op. They tell you exactly what they pay for the vehicle. They'll tell you what they're going to sell the vehicle for. Obviously, they give you the mileage and everything else. The really cool thing about it is whenever you're buying a used car, you don't know how the last person treated it. If you have any problems with a used car at all, you just bought it, and maybe the water pump goes out. Bring it back and they'll fix it for free, no labor cost. All you do is buy the parts and they'll fix it for free. Will your dealership do that? I don't think so. Check them all out. Great crew. Brad, David, Shane, Dakota, Jeremiah, Al. Congratulations to Mr. Porch, too, by the way. He just got married. CoosaValleyAutoSale.com, CoosaValleySale.com. Make sure you call them up, 256-267-0296, 256-267-0296. It's Coosa Valley Auto Sale there at Sylacauga. It's going to be a hell of a week. Fox 6 tomorrow, Livewire Wednesday tomorrow. We have all of our shows. Adapter Parish, Damon Johnson Show, Win and Rome with Stuart Rome. We have Need to Know with Kip Kiefer, fantastic show. Wanna Bet, another great show that airs on Saturdays, 11, 1, 3, and 2. No, 9, 11, 1, and 3. Oh, we got that show, Dark Side of the Pooch, Austin Hanks, Blues Almighty, and of course, Livewire Wednesday a little bit later on tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Get your days right. It's Tuesday already. All right, I love you. Have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon. See ya. And by the way, Al is in the office. Give him a call. Here's the number, 256-267-0296. Give him a call. Buy a car today. See you. Love you. Bye.